Hello ladies and gentlemen, today on Retro Tech Review we're going to be taking a look at the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2, released in the year 2000, was a system that Sony brought out to compete with the Dreamcast. At the time, the Dreamcast was Sega's last stand to actually do something productive to get back in the good books of the end user and developer. But unfortunately, it was too little too late. And as soon as this system came out with its DVD playback ability, that was the final nail in the Dreamcast coffin. This is the Dreamcast killer, my friends. Anyways, this system was backwards compatible with PlayStation 1 games, which made it very desirable. And the fact that PlayStation 1 games are so poorly built, people really don't care. You never hear anybody looking for a PlayStation 1. Everybody's looking for a PlayStation 2 or 3, but not many people are looking for a PlayStation 1, or the PSX, as us old frogs used to call it way back in the day. The only real issue that this system ever got was there was a disc read lawsuit of a whole bunch of systems. The disc just absolutely wouldn't read. Class action lawsuit. Sony settled it. $25 to everybody. With free repair and a free video game. Man, taking this thing apart really makes me appreciate how old systems were put together, were wired in. All Phillips head screwdrivers, no clips. I would like it if it was still like that, but you know how the markets go. Everything has to change. Anyways, this was a system I never had when I was younger. I had to sacrifice comic books and video games if I wanted a date. Back in that day, it wasn't cool to be a geek, and sometimes, if you wanted to get some action, you had to make sure that you were not a geek. So, I sacrificed my love of games for my love of the ladies. Oh! Looking back on it, it was definitely worth it, but I missed a bunch of games. At the time, the only game that would bring me to it is Final Fantasy X. And normally I absolutely love the Final Fantasy lines, but with these new systems, and with the JRPGs coming out, it started to get harder and harder to tell who was a boy and who was a girl. From the title, from looking at what's going on. The storylines were getting just insane, and no game ever seemed to be like Final Fantasy 3 to me. I really wish that I heard a Chrono Trigger back in the day. That would have made me one happy boy if I would have played that. But, of course, it's okay to look like a girl if you're a boy. Nothing wrong with that, of course. Oh, did I miss something? Nothing wrong with that. Go gays and all that stuff. Social justice, etc. But I was a little disappointed with the way Final Fantasy went. I got up to Final Fantasy 9, and then that was it. 9 was good. It was kind of bringing it back to its roots. But I was pretty much given the decision. I was going to get a PlayStation 2, or I was going to get some lady time. Let's just say. And the first day my buddy went to get his PlayStation 2, I took my lady friend. And when we came home, he went to play video games, and I went to play Monopoly. Yeah, Monopoly. Play Monopoly. Good times back in the day. So here we have the Drive. Honestly, this is about the most original Drive that I've seen out of a system. The Xbox 360, or the Xbox original Drive looked like a standard PC drive, but that was the thing that that Bill Gates wanted. He wanted the Xbox to be more like a computer. And I told myself back that I would never get an Xbox because of that. I want my system to be a system. I don't want it to be a computer. And then I went ahead and got an Xbox, succumbed to peer pressure. Yep, so back here we got the power supply. Not a lot to these systems, I gotta say. Now that I'm going through all these systems and opening them up one at a time, there's not much to them. There's like one motherboard, power supply, that's it. The PlayStation's one of the only boards that I've really seen that have a power supply on the inside and then use a standard power cable at the back, which is awesome. Why can't everyone just use standard power cables? The world would be such a much nicer place if we could do that. But of course, power generates heat, and you can't have your systems too hot or they start throttling themselves and melting down. I swear when they make new video game systems, they must make them in beautiful air-conditioned offices where they sit on a nice thick table and cool air everywhere. And then systems get out there and people put newspapers on top of their systems. They play it on the carpet. Every now and then a pillow might fall on it. And they're just happy with that. And then of course it melts down the system. Man, I remember back the time we had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, that didn't happen. Genesis, that definitely happened. This definitely was one system that wore out. They can't build them all like Nintendos do. What can you do? So shortly after I made the decision between video games, comic books, versus having women in my life, I had to make the choice. Literally, it came down to either I was going to have a good time with a girl or I was going to go meet Hulk Hogan. I would score with the chick or I met Hulk Hogan. Score with the chick the first time. And I chose the chick. And I think I chose right. But one of these days I will meet Hulk Hogan. Once again, it should be noted that this is not a functioning system. I got this system at a yard sale with a bunch of games, PlayStation 1 games and a few PlayStation 2 for 20 bucks. So it was unfortunate when I got home and found out the system didn't work. But one of the games that I got was Lunar, the Complete Star Story. Absolutely complete. Beautiful condition. Almost seemed like the guy that got it for Christmas and he decided he didn't like RPGs. Kind of wish I kept that one. But money's money. I was trying to make money off eBay. I know better than that now, though. Nuts to eBay. So here's what we got when we open her up. We have the main chip. We have a battery to keep the date and whatnot. Standard Cmos Battery, which is really cool. I don't think I've seen that on many systems. Let's get a close-up of that. What do we got here? Sony Computer Entertainment, EE, Emotion Engine. I'm thinking that this will be the CPU. That'll be the GPU. Or hell, maybe that's the North Bridge and that's the GPU. Anyways, like and subscribe if you like what you see, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.